Hey guys, it's Editor Jot here, about to bring you the first episode of Writing in Progress with our guest A. Bonoan. Just a brief disclaimer. The views and opinions of the hosts and the resource persons do not represent those of the organization and the university and its stakeholders. And now with that all being said, please sit back, relax, and enjoy Writing in Progress Episode 1 with A. Bonoan.
Good morning, LaSalle. We are Writing in Progress, a WG podcast.
And I am your co-host Jot, and this is Ark.
Hello there.
And today we are going to be talking with A. Bonoan. She is the president of Writers Guild and is currently spearheading many projects such as Deep, which we will talk about later, Reverie, and this project technically.
A very special guest star indeed.
Yeah. So I guess if you want to start this, I want to ask, all of us just came from, I think, one of the events that you're, I guess, running. So I was going to ask, what's your thoughts on it as the president of the org?
Actually, I was not the project head of WIP. I was just the one who's overseeing it. And so far, I'm very, very proud of the project heads because we have seen fresh faces from the event and there was a positive feedback from our guest speaker. And I feel like all the participants had a great time writing, like learning from the flash fiction lecture, the individual activity, and also the group activity.
Yeah, I have to say as well, as one of the people in it, I actually really enjoyed the experience. I tried, I'm not usually a writer who makes more of sad stories, but I think in that moment it allowed me to at least try it out as a challenge to write something about a sad and tearful story, even though I wasn't able to finish it. But it was fun for me. What about you, Art?
I'd say it was very fun. Honestly, sad stories are my specialty. And honestly, I found it a fun event, not just because of that, but because actually the guest speaker earlier, Dawasan, was actually a prof of mine before. And I learned a lot of new things and a lot of familiar things from classes with her before. It was a very fun event. Got to get new people, hang out with old friends. It was a very nice event. I'd say it was successful. 10 out of 10.
That's good to hear.
Aside from that, I am now curious. Speaking of writing, what got all of you guys into writing?
Well, let's start with our guest speaker, A.
So I have been a reader since I was like grade 4. So the first book that I have read is like an ebook. Parang galing siya sa parang file na binlutot sa akin ng pinsan ko. Because it's like a high school romance story. And then that's I was a fan of Chickster before. If people are familiar with it, it's a boy group. And then there were fan fictions in Wattpad. So that's where it all started, fan fiction and high school romance stories.
I hear a lot of our org mates did actually start with fanfic.
Yeah.
Personally, I actually didn't start with fanfic. I used to be a very bad writer when I was in grade 1. I remember my teachers telling me I was already in grade 1, like, oh, and today with the most nursery answer coming from ARC. I'm like, oh, okay. Then, I don't know, I think I just ended up reading more books, like more poetry, and then it started from there. But I think the catalyst was there was a person in my past who used to love to read, and I guess that just made me want to write. And even though that person is part of my past, I'd say that the impact was actually a good impact. It was good learning curve, and I was able to get a talent from that, and it was actually pretty nice. How about you, John?
Well, for me, I've always wanted to write ever since I was little. Like, when I think me and my cousins, we would used to play a game where we would just like imagine we are, I guess, rulers or like, at least we were like, oh,
like role playing games,
yeah,
right?
like role-playing. Like, oh, I'm the king, or I'm the king. And then I think at a certain point in time when I was thinking of those, I was just like, I want to start writing lore.
Like actually writing,
or
yeah.
writing something interesting about it. And I think during and then later on in the pandemic, I started being like, yeah, screw it. I'm gonna actually start writing something about this, and still am.
I definitely think childhood imagination is a big part of being of not just writing in general, but also I think it's just like talent in general. Like being able to uh, figure out like the pictures in your head and like word that out or even draw it out. I think that's really important.
Yeah.
But I feel like as well, writing alone is also completely different from the next step, which is, I guess, joining orgs that are writing, such as Writers
Yeah.
Guild. So I was curious about you guys. What got you guys into writing? I guess the next step, which is joining writing communities.
Okay. So for me, I really wanted to pursue my passion in writing, even though I'm pursuing like an more academically inclined, or maybe no, not really academically inclined. Maybe kind of like a scientific course in a sense. So I searched for a writing org, and I saw Writers Guild, and then I was like, okay, I will search for this in Facebook, and then yun, I applied, and it's a very different org from media orgs because this one is focused more on like creative writing, and it's like a special interest organization talaga, like it's less heavy if I can say that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you mean that in a good way?
In a good way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like in the members, at least for me, like in the members' point of view, this org is very carefree and very laid back. Because I think at least that's what I enjoy about
I
it.
think that's part of its charm, actually.
Yeah.
You're not bound by like really strict deadlines or rules. You get to.
Well, you can be bound if you were part of the Scribbles program, but at the same time, it's more free.
No, but I feel like it's at the same time, even though there are deadlines, of
Yeah.
course. I think it's just a more free, your word,
Yeah.
freeing personality about the org in general. And I think that's part of it. It's part of its charm. It's chill, but at the same time, you can pursue your talent at the same time.
Is that why you joined Writers Guild?
Personally, I didn't join orgs before because I used to think, oh my god, maybe they'll like get the time from all the ACADs I have to do. But then a couple terms ago, a couple of classmates and I were walking by the ARW stands back in CADS, Henry Grounds, and these two friends of mine were really stubborn. They're like, "Art, tara, let's join ours." I'm like, okay, why not? And I saw Mr. Toshi here. He's not in frame, but he's our technical director over there. He's a great guy. Just luring people in. And really, I think part of it was the booth. The booth was very creatively designed.
Oh yeah.
Kudos to
yeah.
whoever did that. I still don't know,
The
actually.
penny inky standee. The
Yeah,
castle,
the castle, the
the
shield.
sword. I love
So by
everything about
translation, we were bewitched by a wizard.
it. Yeah.
And greatest goddamn wizard we know. Uh, but yeah, I honestly, no regrets. It was really fun. Got to meet a lot of people. Got to meet you guys actually.
Aw.
And yeah, it's just lots of fun times since.
Yeah.
And I definitely think it's the pros outweighed any cons or issues. And I think that was a great experience and continuing experience as well. How about you, John?
Well, for me, at least when I was in high school, most of the orgs I would join was completely for like resume building because I was like, I want to enter my dream college. I want to enter anything I want. So like, I want to build it that way. And then when I entered college, I was like, well, I already made it. So I want to try joining something for purely hobby. So I was just looking around orgs and I saw like, oh, Writers Guild. All right, I'll join that.
It was a very
Actually, no. Actually, the real story was I went to GAS. And then I think I saw a guy holding a WG shield, and I was like, "Oh, where's that?" Yeah, and then I was like, I was pointed that, and then I think he pointed like to the WG stand, and I was like, "Okay, I guess that's the only writers org here, so I will sign up for it." And then
a man really said, "So, what now?"
yeah. For me, that's what I enjoyed about Writers Guild, and at least later on, what I liked as well was that it allowed me to incentivize to push through my creative passions, and at least everyone around me drove inspiration. Like I feel like a lot of people in our org has a lot of different insights, perspectives, and backgrounds. And at least for me, it inspires me to do a lot of things.
That's true because we're not a big org, but we do have quite a lot of diverse members coming from different colleges,
Yeah.
and I think that alone gives people different perspectives, and it's really entertaining to see like, oh, this is how an engineer thinks. Oh, this is how someone from CLA or Cobb would think, and I think it's jam packed. It's like a blender of all of everyone's different minds and perspectives, and I think that really gives I don't know, insights into like what writing could and couldn't be.
I was going to ask from that, what inspires you when you're, I guess when you're overseeing these projects, what inspires you to like, oh, maybe it looks like it should look like this, or how do you see the vision when you see our like our events? How do you vision it?
I have actually two goals in mind. It's more of like a personal goal and also a goal for the members and officers itself. So for the personal goal, I feel like Writer's Guild became a medium for me to achieve my childhood. It's not okay. I think childhood dreaming is kind of corny, but I think it is a childhood dream. So
We accept all kinds of corniness here. It's
Okay.
okay.
So-
It's a safe place.
in elementary and high school, I always daydream of like participating in like publications. I always dreamt of like leading people in like events, in planning events. I also like dreamt of being a speaker or maybe an editor, and I achieved it all through this organization. So it's like a personal goal
Fulfillment.
It's personal fulfillment to do it. And for the goals naman for the members and officers, I always envisioned the org to provide a space for members to enjoy writing. That's really it. And I think it's working now. And
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we're enjoying your presidency.
That's good. Okay. So when I was running for president, one of my parang plan of action is to have an interest check of what events members want, and it happened, and I
Oh, so
think
that started with you. That was your idea.
it increased the members' interest,
That's
and
smart.
yeah, that's
I was gonna ask, I guess inspired, like when you're creating lots of projects, without getting into it, but for us, we know there's a lot of paperwork into it. And
Yeah.
I was curious, what drives you to keep going with your passion? Like, you guys to keep going
What
with your-
drives you to overcome the paperworks and the deadlines?
What drives me is the happiness of the participants involved. When I was an AVP for documentation slash academic year, me and Kobe and the other project heads had this workshop for So Not Fiction, for a non-fiction workshop. It's called So Not Fiction. And I met new people there. And they had like parang a very positive feedback for us. Na parang, I really enjoyed this workshop. Thank you for creating this kind of event. And then yung Guild Wars, it's an amazing race event. Yeah, it's an amazing race
Hindi pa
event.
namin naabot eh.
Well, maybe next year may Guild Wars, but it was an amazing race event, and every people were wishing to be part of it. Kasi they really enjoyed it. Lalo na yung amazing race. Kasi from one building to another, it's like an adventure.
Oh.
Diba? You were like
Oh my
part of the
God.
story.
Yeah, maybe
So-
I was there.
Yeah.
So, term 2
ayun.
presidency will it happen?
Um, ayun. So,
Open-ended answer, guys. There's still hope. There's still hope.
So, comment down below if you want Guild War.
Comment down below if you want Abel to run for president next academic year.
Comment down below if you want Guild Wars Part 2.
for,
Guild Wars 2. No copyright intended.
so ayun, the members' feedback and their interest of the events. Yeah.
I think that was really smart because like you there's this, you get a lot of people and you have, okay guys, I have ideas, but because we're limited to ideas, which ones do you want the most? That was your way of being able to deduce which ones would be like the most enjoyable. And I think
Yeah.
that was really smart. I didn't know that only existed when you came into presidency, but I think it was a really smart move. Because I asked them, see, in most of the events, a lot of people who said that they were interested were actually joining the events. And I think that's a good way to take, okay, the event was a success.
How about for you, Art? What keeps you, I guess, excited for running projects like these?
Honestly, just the ability to be able to join them, even if it's not as a participant, but as someone who like observes everyone else joining the members. No, I think just being able to be part of an org with similar, special interests, being able to see everyone happy and engaging with their talents and their peers. I think it's a really interesting. It's a very nice feeling. It's very warm and cozy, and I think that's what Writers Guild is about. It has guild in the name. It's very tavern-like and D&D. It's like very
Gilding.
chill. Exactly. Like you're writers, but you're also gilding as friends, as peers.
Yeah.
And I think the joy of people being able to enjoy the time in college amidst academic life or even personal stresses, I think it's a good way to be able to have an enjoyable life within college. I think that's really good. It's a really good thing about Writers Guild.
Well, I think for me, it's like every time I do some part of an event, I would usually look at like the back or like I see like the people, and I usually look like, oh, they look like a they look like a family, or like they're going through something. And okay, sorry.
Okay.
Wait, where was I?
I forgot then.
Yeah.
The joys of being able to
Run.
pursue events.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think just
Run, Forest, run.
yeah. For some reason, it's the same. It's the same. Yeah, it gives me the same like enjoyment as like when you cook your own food, and then for some reason it tastes.
Oh
even
my god,
better.
that's so true.
Even though it's like a pancit canton. It's like, even though it's like instant noodles, for some reason, if I made it instead of like my mom making it, even though it's just like boiling hot water, I'm like, for some reason this feels like fun.
It just yeah. I remember there's a quote from a movie. It was an old swordsman. He's retired. He became like a pottery guy. And when asked why does he do pottery, he just feels better drinking from something he made on his own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
I really agree with that. Like parang when you make something and people like it, there's like this feeling of accomplishment.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And it's from your hard work. And I think that's also one of the motivating factors
Yeah,
for me.
I don't think necessarily that it's external validation. I think it's more in like the reassurance that not only you found something that you did was exciting, but other people found it as
Yes.
Yeah, it's not just in your head. Like
Yeah.
well.
everyone
Hindi ka
will-
lang delulu.
Yeah. I mean, that's why that's why I'm also like, I guess not the league, but I'm also excited for like the other events that at least we're all currently making right now, because at least for me, in the process of making them, they feel pretty exciting. Like even making this, even though it was pretty messy, but
To be fair, the messiest thing was just the sketch.
yeah.
really.
But like I think at least for me right now, I'm feeling like very ecstatic, and the payout for some, at least in my head, has been so far so fun. And I mean that's all that matters for me, just to have fun.
That's true. That's true.
That's also our goal. One of our goals, syempre, is
Yeah,
to
yeah.
learn and to have fun.
That's
and redefine writing.
Yeah, really fun writing.
redefine writing with Writers Guild.
I'm also curious, I guess, aside from at least the president, like your other works as president, your works in writing. I remember you're also doing our Scribbles program.
What?
I mean, are you doing your Scribbles?
Oh yeah, I did write for Scribble.
I think we all did.
Yeah.
Except for him.
I was curious, at least in the process of it, how was that, guy? How was that for you guys?
Personally for me, depends talaga sa content ng sinusulat ko. Sometimes there was an inspiration, sometimes napipilitan lang ako. No. It's not really na napipilitan. Parang minsan hindi. Okay, sa poetry, I was so like parang motivated kasi maikli lang siya. Pero pag fiction or non-fiction,
Poetry ka ba talaga?
uh,
Or more fiction?
actually, I started with non-fiction.
Like
Oh.
essays and
Yes, nung first year
Ito yung mga
ko.
diary, nung mga 14-year-old na susulat.
No, not really 14-year-old. Nung first year ako,
Ah, okay.
yun yung una kong sinend sa Scribbles. Tapos, di ba 11:59 p.m. yung deadline nung ano?
Nasend mo 12.
11:59 p.m. palagi yung deadline ng submissions.
Yeah.
Sabi ko gusto ko maging part ng program to kasi matuturuan ako. Pero wala akong work, wala akong fiction na work or story or anything. Nagsulat ako ng diary. Tapos isang
counts as
page lang
non-fiction.
siya. Yeah. And then I made it non-fiction. Nagsulat ako ng diary. Last minute, 10 minutes before deadline. Well, at least support ako ng Scribbles program. So, ayun. And then, from that na one
Ginawa
page.
ko rin yun last Scribbles actually. Kasi sinabi ni Lawrence Ark, sumulat ka. Sabi ko, sige na nga.
Yun, actually, yun din. Parang, sige, magpasa na kayo yung mga editor talaga.
I love our editors.
Love you guys. Thank you for the comments. Anyway.
Ano?
You're not calling it time, right?
They're not still cool.
They're calling it time.
Okay, so from that kalahating page na diary, it bloomed into a 3-page na parang super angsty na non-fiction na parang narrative essay, a personal essay.
Na-publish ka ba nun?
No.
What? Really?
No.
You know what? It's the process.
Pero enjoy mo
It's the
naman.
process.
Oh, at least
I
may
was-
peace ka.
Yeah, I was really just targeting the process, like parang yung improvement ng work ko. I don't mind being published or not published. I just want my piece to improve.
Talagang self-development.
Yeah, this is why
Tama naman.
yung maganda yung mga programs na ganito sa organization natin eh.
Sa
Yung
mga writing and publishing 101.
yeah, the
diba?
improvement of the work talaga.
Tama,
Siguro yun
tama.
yung talaga dapat talaga yun yung aim. Mag-improve yung writing and yung works natin. So ayun. Tapos yun, ngayon nag-try ulit ako. Yun.
Do you think it was more fun the second time around or the first time around?
Definitely, it was more fun this time kasi alam ko na kung anong ginagawa ko eh. Like parang nung freshman ako, nasa COVID pa tayo nun eh.
Yeah, okay.
So ngayon parang may experience ako kasi minor din ako sa literature eh. So alam ko na kung ano yung ginagawa ko, alam ko na yung gusto kong pag-usapan, and meron na din ako inspiration since face-to-face, heartbreaks, gano'n.
Tama, kaya nga diba, yesterday's sorrows, tomorrow's
Yeah.
frows.
Wow. Tapos pasok mo pa yun. Pero ayun, that's all.
No, it's true. A lot. I will say though, a lot of inspiration when it comes to writing is really emotions. It might not be for everyone, but I think a lot of it is like for a lot of people. It's also like the raw emotions and deciphering this putting this into words. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
I think it's for me, like when I was writing my scribbles, I had lots of fun because I think I wrote about like I used my school, like my high school, and because I live nearby, my research was just walking around like my high school. So I told
Feeling the
feeling
nostalgia.
nostalgia. So, and then like I don't know.
Was it fiction,
I was
non-fiction?
writing my non-fiction story.
Oh, no.
And I was like, I don't know, it's just weird adventures like that where I just like sneak into places where like just like so I could like at least immerse myself in a world.
But is it immersive?
Yeah.
We are not condoning any activities.
We're not condoning this, but I mean, you know, explore for your own research. And
As long as you stay safe,
yeah,
With caution.
be cautious.
Responsibly.
be responsible.
Be responsible.
Okay.
Anyway, so I think.
Do you have anything else to add?
Yeah. Speaking of anything,
Speaking of-
speaking of the things you have work in progress. Do you have any work in progress you want to plug right now, A?
We're cutting that.
You cut that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going back. So,
Yeah.
any projects you want to tell us about?
Actually, one of the reasons why I'm here is to promote our flagship event, Reverie Tales from the Past. Reverie Tales from the Past right now is both a publication launch and a concert. So, it will happen on July 17 from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. And our invited partners is Little Gaza's Kitchen. They will be our beneficiary and they will also provide the food for us. Our media partner is Archer's Network, and our internal partners is Gakuen Anime Soshiki,
Oh,
and
I
Kultura.
love that.
On the first part of the program from 1 to 3 p.m., you will see the authors discuss their works. All winning authors from the Doodles program, from the With Love Penny, and the Scribbles program their work will be published into one publication, and you will witness.
Wait,
their-
that's going to be on the same day as Reverie?
Yes.
Oh.
Aren't you part of the project? Anyway.
This will
No,
be
I'm part of the
the
people being
program.
published, apparently.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
And then
That's a nice surprise.
yeah. And then you will
Yeah.
discuss the testimony. Okay, the stories of the work behind the works. And then at 3 to 4 p.m. we will have a break. And at 4 to 7 p.m. we will have a photo booth, food,
The open mic.
and we'll also have a spoken word poetry performance. Spoken word poetry performances and musical performance from duos, bands, and solos. And please stay tuned for that.
Yeah, so if you want to hear the scribbles we were talking about earlier, you'll be able
Save
to,
the date, July 17 on Andrew 9th floor.
you'll be able to see it when you buy the books in the publication launch.
Yeah.
And I think
Please buy and support the local Lasallian writers.
Yeah.
and I think that's it.
Self-plug.
Yeah, I think this event is an opportunity for writers and other performers to showcase their skills beyond only one medium. Because when we think about writing, we think about only stories like fiction, non-fiction, and poetry.
Yeah.
But we explore more of other mediums such as spoken word and musical performances.
Yeah, it's like writing is a core element, I think, within the entertainment industry. Like if the songs you listen to, spoken word poetry, stand-up comedy, there's all writing involved in that.
And yes, so I hope that the people listening here will be one of those who will participate or be our audience for this event. And ayun.
Once again, see you there July 17. Save the date, Andrew 9th floor, Reverie.
Yeah.
And we will see you next episode. Bye-bye.
But that's all for now, and we'll see you next time. What's where? Writing in progress.
Yeah!
That's good. I like that.
Alright, can you make that?
Paano ano yung line? That's all for now, and we'll see you next time. And we'll see you next time. Oh, no. When we're okay.
Writing in
Okay. And that's all for.
I'm sorry.
Okay. And that's all for now. We'll see you next time when we're writing in progress.
Bye.
Bye.
Alright. Good?
That was
That's
good.
good.
Good line. Good line.
Alright.
Hey guys, it's Jot here, editing the final parts of this podcast. I hope you really enjoyed it and leave a like, comment. And a final disclaimer, once again, the views and opinions of the hosts and resource persons do not represent those of the organization and the university and its stakeholders. Now thank you all for watching and see you on the next episode.